Blackstone presents The Art of Not Being Governed, an Anarchist History of Upland Southeast Asia by James C. Scott. This book is read by Alex Boyles. It is said that the history of peoples who have a history is the history of class struggle. It might be said with at least as much truthfulness that the history of peoples without history is a history of their struggle against the state. Pierre Clastres, La Société contre l'État. Preface. Zomia is a new name for virtually all the lands at altitudes above roughly 300 meters all the way from the central highlands of Vietnam to northeastern India and traversing 5 Southeast Asian nations, Vietnam, Cambodia, Laos, Thailand, and Burma, and 4 provinces of China, Yunnan, Guizhou, Guangxi, and parts of Sichuan. It is an expanse of 2.5 million square kilometers containing about 100 million minority peoples of truly bewildering ethnic and linguistic variety. Geographically, it is also known as the Southeast Asian Mainland Massif. Since this huge area is at the periphery of 9 states and at the center of none, since it also bestrides the usual regional designations, Southeast Asia, East Asia, South Asia, and since what makes it interesting is its ecological variety as well as its relation to states, it represents a novel object of study, a kind of transnational Appalachia, and a new way to think of area studies. My thesis is simple, suggestive, and controversial. Zomia is the largest remaining region of the world whose peoples have not yet been fully incorporated into nation-states. Its days are numbered. Not so very long ago, however, such self-governing peoples were the great majority of humankind. Today, they are seen from the Valley Kingdoms as our living ancestors, what we were like before we discovered wet rice cultivation, Buddhism, and civilization. On the contrary, I argue that hill peoples are best understood as runaway, fugitive, maroon communities who have, over the course of 2 millennia, been fleeing the oppressions of state-making projects in the valleys, slavery, conscription, taxes, corvée labor, epidemics, and warfare. Most of the areas in which they reside may be aptly called shatter zones or zones of refuge. Virtually everything about these people's livelihoods, social organization...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?